morning everybody. Antoinette is back again with the next video, and today we're going to start using egg cartons. First thing is we are going to make 5 art types using egg cartons, and I'm going to give you a tip first. If you have egg cartons and you're going to do the art I'm going to show you, and you don't have a cup or something to put the paint in for the little one, then you use the egg cartons as well, and then afterwards you can throw it away or use it again. So the items I'm going to show you is going to need assistance from the parents, the mom, the dad. Okay, so today's art is for 2 to 5 year olds, and I hope they enjoy it. The first one we are going to do is we're going to do flowers, and the flowers will look like this. So let us start. Okay, now as I said, we need egg cartons, and we will break them that we just have this one part, because we're going to make flowers and they will look like this. And then we're going to do the inside as well, and they will look like this. So what we do is we use a little scissor, and then we just cut, and then you just cut it round. That part you just cut inside like this. There's your round part, and then you just flip it to make your leaves of your flowers. Now this pieces you are cutting off, just keep it because we're going to use it anyway. Don't throw it away because we're going to recycle. Okay, and then this little one we're going to use for the inside of the flower. So again, what you do is you take this side, you take your scissor, and you just cut it round, that you have an inside. Again, don't throw this away, keep it. Okay, now you have your 2 flowers. Then you need a piece of string, because we're going to do this for the flowers stems. Okay, and then of course we need a paper plate. You're going to mix your paint in your paper plate. So okay, what you now do is you have your paint, as I already said, and you throw it inside. It doesn't matter if it's going to smear, because we're going to mix anyway. So again, we just throw it inside. There we have our paint. And then you take your flower, and then you just dip it, and you mix it, that it's a nice color. And then what you're going to do is on your piece of paper, it can be any paper what you have, even if it's newspaper. I work on newspaper, so then nothing is messy when you're finished. So let us start. A few times, and you just press it with your fingers. So little one just presses it, and there's the one flower. Again, press the whole time, because it's a little stamp. And you can make as many flowers as you want. It depends on your image, what you want to make. It's your art. And they can enjoy and have fun. And don't worry if the paint is mixing, because that's part of art. You just play and enjoy. And when you have your flowers outside, then we made our inside. And the inside we just blue. So okay, we put it inside that one a bit more purple, and that one a bit more yellow, and that one a bit more mixed. So there is your inside. But then we have our string. So what we then do is we can cut it, and we mix it with the paint already in the paper plate. And then what you just do is, like I showed you last time, you just do this, or you can slide it again in the paint, press it, or slide it. Done. And again, you can let it dry, keep it in the sun, or if you have a heat gun or hair dryer, you just make it dry. And when it's dry, you can frame it, you can hang it in their room, and you can even put their name to it, because they must be proud of their egg carton flowers. So let us move on to the next one. Okay, now our next one, and this will be a bit more abstract art, but as I said, we are working with recycled items. We don't throw it away, we use it for art projects. So the second one is an abstract one with the same paint that you used previously, and then you're going to use this as well, because we're not going to throw it away. So let us start. Okay, now this is a quick and easy one, and it's full of fun because you are gonna enjoy what you do. So again, you take your cartons, and with the excess paint you just throw on, and again this one, the excess paint you throw on your paper plate. And now you have your paper. As I said, any paper is fine, you can just play. So what you now do is you take your supposed to be paint holders, and then you are gonna make it full of paint, and then you're gonna do this. You're gonna just glide it, because you're making abstract art. And doesn't matter, it has to be thick, thin, can be any. And you dip it and you dip it and you slide it. And then again, you dip a bit more blue. And you just play and slide and play and slide. And you can even go across and do this. Just play. It's your image. You just make fun. And you can even do this if you want to, like a little stamp. And you can do this, zigzag, just what you want. You can enjoy yourself and just play. And there you have your abstract art. Quick and easy, playing with the paint, just making art. Okay, let us go to our next one. Okay, now for the next one, the third one, we are going to do pouring art. And we all use acrylic paint for all 5 I'm showing you. So this one is what you're going to make for the third one. And every one is going to look different. Now what you will need is, you will need a piece of paper, and then you will need a butter paper or baking paper with the smooth side to the bottom, that's very glazy to you, because your paper is gonna dry on this and it can go off again. And then a little tray or something, because this is a lot of mess when you paint. So what we are gonna do, we're gonna start again. We have our holders with our paint. And as I said, we keep it and we use it. So again, the acrylic paint, this time I just added a bit more water to make it more watery, because it has the flowing effect we are going to do. So only what we do is we take our paint and we just pour it, because it's pouring art. And you just flow it everywhere. And again, the pink and the yellow, You can throw it everywhere, and then the yellow comes along. But it's not done yet, because now you pick it up and you glide it. You just take the paper to the one side and then the next, covering the whole piece of paper with the paint, and you will see all the lovely colors coming through. And again, you did tilt it. You can do this. You can keep it like that because it's gonna drip down to make your paint effect. And what you also can do is, if you want more paint, you just go back and you press it on your background like this to get more paint on it. And then you can let it dry. Even though there's white areas, you can make it closed with your fingers like this. Just using, and again, you see what I mean about the baking paper. You let it dry and let it flow. Just close that with your fingers and let it flow down. That's why I said it's more watery, to give you the effect of the flowing art. They can just play and make beautiful art. And when you're done, you keep it in your tray and you let it dry. And there you made your pouring art. A little messy, but it's fun to do. Okay, let's go to the fourth one. Okay, now the fourth one would be like this. And as I told you, this is going to be splatter art. And I told you you must keep your pieces because we are going to use it. So I have a lot of pieces that I have broken or cut off of my previous cuts I made. So we just take them and we just put them everywhere on the image, and just make sure it's not a windy day, otherwise it will blow away everywhere. So we just put it everywhere, and we are just gonna play. Put it everywhere. And if you have an old toothbrush, and now we're going to use this, and we still have our paint in our cartons, and we still have our paper plate. So again, you make it a bit more watery because we're going to splatter. And then you just mix. And then you put your brush in it and close to the, you're going to do this. And again, you put it like this with your thumb. Close to the paper, let the little one just put his thumb like this under the brush. Drip a lot of paint. Doesn't make if it's drippings because it's art. You do this the whole time until the image is covered with paint. And again, you can just put it in there and make a bit more pink. And then you can just make it yellow with a bit more yellow here and there. You see the effect it's making? Closely. If you do it softly, it will go further. If you do it quick, it splatters smaller. You just play. And let us do a bit of blue again. You see the colors coming along. playing and playing and playing. Look all the colors. In the paint. Mixing with the purples. There's a bit more pink, a bit more purple. You see the effect of the splatter? That's why we call it splatter art. And when you're done, you just lightly remove it. It doesn't matter if it moves and smear, but you try just to lightly move it off the paper. It's making that background openings that gives you that effect I showed you in the beginning. And that is all you do. You just splatter and you let it dry. Just enjoy, because the little one made this with his little hands. And there you have our splatter art. And let us go to the next one. The final one for this video is we're gonna again recycle, as I said. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna make something to hang on the wall, and this is with flowers, and it will be something like this when you're done. So okay, the flowers we made earlier, you can use them, but I'm also gonna show you the rest of the flowers you also can make. It looks a bit different, so let us start. Okay, now first things first, you still have your air cartons. Now you already have them like this, so you cut them into pieces, again like I showed you the previous time. And then what you do then is you take them, if you cut them, and you see it already looks like a little flower. So then you just cut them not too close to the center line, just to give them that effect of the leaves. And I prefer to use a small scissor because it's easier to handle. So there's your one, and then you can just lightly press it open. There's your one, and you can make another one. This time you can just cut it rounder, like I showed you in the previous video for when we made the beginning of the flowers. Again, you just cut them to give them the leaf effect of the flowers. And then again, you just open them. So what we're now going to do is we still have our paint. So we are going to just put it in the paint and flatten it, mix it and give it color. And you can use the fingers. The little one can paint with their fingers. Those areas that's not covered in paint, because you can just make nice flowers. There's the one, and again you just paint, dip it in a paint, press it down. And you can let them dry first because they have to keep their shape. Let's make that one a little bit yellow. And it has its flowery. Now the next one is the stems. You have to use stuff you have around your house. I have straws and then rope. Straws and rope, and if you have kebab sticks, you can use this as well. Even if you do needlework, strings, you can use this as well. And then what you do is you have an old brush. So what you do is you decide, okay, let's make the one in the center. and then you just take your straw like this and you paste it and let it dry. I'm just moving this so you can see what I'm doing here for the bottom of the image. If you want, the glue I'm using is PVA glue, and I made a mixture of 50% water and 50% glue, and then you just shake it well and you just put it on where you want the strings to be. You can cut off the rest later and let it dry. So while you wait for those to let dry and those to let dry, then you just, I'm going to show you now before it's dry because we work with time, but then you just paste it like that, and then you just press it. There's your one flower, and again I'm going to use the other one, and you put it in a sunny place and you let it dry, and when you're done you have your flowers that they can hang on their wall, and you can frame it, put their name on it, and it's nice to have. Something to be proud of when you're done. And I hope you are going to use the egg cartons and do lovely art. I hope I inspired you and that you learned something. Let me know. Like, subscribe. Till the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.